Iran refuses to make nukes because it's against Islam's teaching, right? So Iran's not making nukes. They're making a whole bunch of uranium for the nuclear power plant. They simply refuse to make nuclear weapons because it's against their religion. Somebody, any of the modern Christians here? I think I like the word modern Christians better. Any modern Christians here? Let me ask y'all a question. Is it a sin to make a nuclear weapon? That's the question I'm asking. Is it a sin? Does the Bible say you're not supposed to? Let me see. You're not supposed to murder, but you can murder an entire nation at 80,000, 100,000. How many people they murdered when they dropped the atom bomb? 200,000? Is that against the Bible in any way? I want to know if Islam is standing up and they're saying they have an edict that they cannot have nuclear weapons. Do you think? Because I'm not. Well, okay. I'm not saying America's a Christian nation, but the majority of people are modern Christians and they say in God they trust. Do you trust God if you make nuclear weapons? Do you? What do you vote for? Is that sin? All right, hang on. Come on. Ooh, let's talk about the Rothchilds. Because why in the world, every single war is fought? If you don't have a Rothschild bank, Americans want to bring Rothschild banks to the How does the story go? I think YouTube is fun. I think YouTube is fun. I'm looking for the music. Here we go. Good morning. Good morning, Sharon and Patricia. Who else came up in the house? Tino's in the house. Christine, 9 countries. Let's hope they make it without the Rothschild. You think they're gonna make it without the Rothschild, Christine? You think so? Well, you better start talking. You're gonna have to talk a little faster because I don't think Americans are getting it. I don't think they're getting it. They're still fighting for patriotism. They still think their nation exists. They can't wait to elect another leader of the Rothschilds army to destroy the planet. Wait, I'm not done. Hold on. I'm always up to something. I'm gonna get in trouble for that one today. I'm gonna get in trouble. You don't think I was in trouble yesterday? Ooh, goodness gracious. I was in the Sumerian tablets this morning. Oh my goodness, I was getting chills. About the Anunnaki. Zachariah Sitchin passed away. Now we have like 5 or 6 other translators agreeing with Zachariah Sitchin now. Actually, the funny thing is there was one that was prior to him saying that all the stories in Genesis and Exodus came out of other earlier texts, not just the Naga Sanskrit text. Prove that there's only one world religion, that there shouldn't be any more wars anyway, that the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and Mellons and all of them use those religions to get you to kill each other so they can rule the world, so they can label the world. The Sumerian tablets talking about how Enki, I think it was Enki, right? Somebody, is Enki or Enki? I forgot his name. How he made man from clay. And they drew the picture, and Moses saw the geoglyph, and he was like, oh, God made the planet, made man from earth, or from the earth, the dust of the earth. And people get scared, they get worried, they get upset when I say stuff like that. I'm just saying it because either you're seeking what's true, or you're just seeking to give every country a Rothschild bank. You only got 2 options there. No, there aren't any other options. That's it. It doesn't negate your religion. It's just this understanding that all religions go back to a religion. They all go back to a religion. And you all worship the same God, so you got no reason fighting. You all honor the same ancient texts. We're talking about Gilgamesh. And I didn't know this part. This part was new to me. Or I probably heard it a long time ago. I just focused on it this morning, so I got people upset at me probably. I didn't look at it because they start getting Actually, when people get upset now, they'll just send it to my inbox. They won't even think it's gonna print. It's all a little too rough. At Gilgamesh, he lost everlasting life because the snake stole the plant he needed. So he lost Gilgamesh, right? The guy from the flood. I know before they said Noah, but remember they changed names on all this stuff. He lost everlasting life because a snake stole a plant. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Does that sound vaguely familiar? That is a question I ask. One, where the hell was Eve at? That's number one. Was she at Walmart? She getting the nails done, getting the hair did? Where was Eve at in the whole story? The one that y'all say women are responsible for original sin? You know, that's what they told you in the Adam and Eve essay. The CIA classified it because they want to keep you stupid, because they need to help those Rothschilds get those banks rolled out in the other countries. Where was Eve at, right? Because y'all say woman created original sin. And apparently in the original story, the story that's earlier than Genesis, earlier than the Bible, Eve wasn't even in the house. She wasn't even in the garden. Eve was out fishing or cooking. She's doing something. I don't know. She wasn't even around. The original sin was the damn snake stole the plant, ran away. And somehow Moses, and sad old Moses in this class, if he had glasses, if he had Fred G. Sanford eyeglasses, man, we just, war would have went extinct a long time ago. Y'all have nothing to fight over. I know, it's rough, it's hard, I know, it hit your indoctrination, I know. It hit mine, it used to hit mine too, because my friend used to say stuff like this. I was like, you're crazy, sacrilege, pagans, get out of here. You know, now I'm like, ew. Ew. Everything is on a scale of plausibility with me. Once again, I just look at the plausibility. You got text after text after text after text proving that these scriptures were copies of copies of copies of copies. And even the furthest back they go, they're saying are copies. There's one root religion, one root saying that became all these little silly religions, and now y'all murdering each other's cousins so everybody can get a Rothschild bank. Hang on, I gotta do something real quick. I'm gonna do some comments, real quick. Story of the Rothschilds. Ooh, I think I need to change a label here. Let me try and change a label. I think I am honorarily going to represent the Rothschilds and give them what they want. We no longer should be calling this planet Earth. This is not Earth. It ain't been Earth for a long time, and the Americans about to elect the 2020s to make sure it never be Earth again. Planet Rothschild. I think, where is it? Right here? Is that? It's gonna be Planet Rothschild. It's gonna be their planet. Well, they're gonna blow everybody up trying. They can give everybody a case of nuclear radiation trying. All right, anyway. How does the story go? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So there was a guy by the name of, how did banking start? Banking started because there was a scripture, probably that Moses didn't do this one, right? Because this is the New Testament. Moses didn't do this one. There was a scripture that said that you can't charge interest on money, right? Because God is God. See, God don't play with y'all banks. God didn't have no bank account. Jesus didn't have no bank account. They didn't like no bankers at all for this reason. So you couldn't charge interest, I think it was, right? But then they had these things. They were called, gosh, I know it's a horrible thing, but I think they called them the court Jew. And all the kingdoms had the court Jew. I don't know if that relates to modern Jews. I don't know what even that's for. But his name was Nathan Meyer Rothschild. Nathan Meyer Rothschild. And he was the court Jew, and because he wasn't believing, I guess the Torah doesn't have that particular scripture, right? Because that's Old Testament, not New Testament. So he could set up a bank with some interest, right? He could figure out how to get them Christians. He could figure out how to own them Muslims. He could figure out how to own the damn world. So he set up the bank with interest. Before too long, that bank became one of the most powerful banks in the land. Game of Thrones call it the Iron Bank. And then he set up his kids in the other kingdoms, just court Jews, with the Rothschild banking system. And now the majority of the planet Rothschild, is under the Rothschild banking system. And they will die trying. They will kill the earth, America, and everybody on this planet if you don't take on their banking system. And that's what the wars are really all about. Like, sometimes I think they're about oil. Like, I think there are all these other sublying things, you know, oil and this, that, and the other, and minerals and coltan. Because the Rothschild, they don't just own banks, right? Like, their wealth is over $1 trillion. Like, they own big corporations and banks and everything. Like, every conspiracy on the planet, they say, goes back to the Rothschild family, you know. But this is why I don't really understand why people vote. This is the kicker. This is the one that just really gets my panties in a bunch. The one I just can't figure it out. Why in the hell people still vote? Because the political parties won't change their mission statement. Rothschild Bank, or we murder you, we're gonna kill the Americans too. Everybody just running for it. We will destroy the next generation, our kids, and give everybody 5G and radiation if you don't get a Rothschild. But hey, this is where we're at, y'all. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. You can't complain about it. You just have to go along with it. You got to go along with it. Good morning, everybody. Oh, Blue Lady 22. Been a minute. Sister, how you doing? No, Inky made man from what was here that stood upright and was hairy, and how Inky describes it. Right, well, Inky used clay and the monkey people, right? Because you got that Sumerian picture with the monkey people. Y'all know what she's talking about. So he used clay and the monkey people. And in Genesis, God used the dust of the earth. But Moses, maybe he didn't want to include the monkey people. Maybe it's like people today who he doesn't want to like accept that we're 98% monkey. So it's like it's a copy of a copy. Like these stories are ancient stories that have just been copied over and over and over and over. And today, now that you can look at all over the world and put together the archaeology, the ancient texts, the religions, the old scriptures, it actually makes sense as to why, right? If you can get religions, if you as a man can be God and people worship you, if you're a president, if you're a congressperson and you can't do no wrong, right? You can't do no wrong. People are gonna put you in 2020, no matter what you did wrong, because they don't talk about things you did that they like. The things you did that helped them. They ignore the things you did wrong. You can dominate a world. When I think about the 2020s, I want y'all to dig up, what's the guy name? Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer 2020. Because on paper he could look good. You like put all his accomplishments, the good things he did, and just cheer the good thing. Dahmer 2020, and just ignore all the people he's murdered, right? Because he only murdered like 8 or something. How many people did he murder? And your politicians, all of them, all the wars they voted for, murdered 5 million people since 9/11. Why? For Rothchild banks. And it's based on a lot of ignorance and bigotry of scripture, locking your religion into 1872 or 1927, whenever somebody translated the copy. Religion, highly dangerous. If you are a man and you speak for God, you have a blind following. That's when we get in trouble, is when we have blind followers. Eileen got kicked off of Facebook. Eileen, and you need to start lying. Why are you telling the truth? Stop that. You need to start lying. We're for democracy and freedom. Oh, I posted another question. Because the flag is in the news. The flag isn't in what happened. The guy had like a 34-foot flag, American flag or something, with people worshiping the flag. And I asked the question, I'm just curious. Am I supposed to be allegiant to the flag? Or should I be allegiant to what the flag stood for? Should I be allegiant to the bannerman, the one carrying the banner, the Obamas and Trumps and Mays and Merkels and Putins? Or should I be allegiant to the idea, the philosophy that we can move forward and get away from feudalism and iron banking, Rothschild banking? I can tell you this, I don't care who holds the damn flag, and I don't care if you burn the flag. I don't care if you step on the flag. I know that they murdered people for the flag. But the belief, that common belief, after they genocided everybody, I kind of believe it. Freedom, liberty, sovereignty, leave each other alone. The Bible was rewritten so many times, it's hard to tell what's history and what's somebody's fantasy. And that's the point. Thank you, Eileen. And that is the point. It doesn't affect your religion. It doesn't affect your faith. Because if you're supposed to just be loving people and closing people and feeding people and not murdering people and not making nuclear weapons, not voting for people who aren't getting rid of nuclear weapons, then it doesn't really matter. And it's that humility. It's that humility, Eileen, when people are humble enough to accept that and stop acting like they're God. Stop acting like their pastor's God. Stop acting like their Pope is God. And just take the humility of that and just say, you know what? We really don't know. All these texts are telling us that we really don't know the truth. So it's not worth killing anybody. It's not worth arguing across religion. It's not worth invading countries, And that is the point. Like using what we know now to become better at what we're supposed to be doing, which is just loving people. All of that Jeremiah stuff, all of that stuff about the secrets won't be revealed to the end of time. Probably because Jeremiah knew everybody was changing the text because all these men wanted to be God and they wanted you to keep sending your tithe and Rothschild money. So the church can put it in the bank, not sending some chicken and eggs and okra and some bacon. Bring some cattle to the church. You try that today, see if they let you in the church. Somebody take a goat to church. Take a goat to one of them mega churches, see what happens. And this is not an anti-church thing. That's not even what I wanted to talk about. Somebody bring some hogs to the church. And you know what? That might actually be a new rule. I will never come to your church if I can't bring a hog as a tithe. If I can't bring a hog as a tithe and offering, then I ain't going in, because I know that church ain't about what they said they're about. All right, let me stop. Love and light. Good morning, brother Kevin. Blue Lady 22, what's going on? Rothchilds say they are the direct descendants of the Anunnaki. Blue Lady 22, and that would not surprise me one bit. That wouldn't surprise me one bit, because they're willing to murder everybody. They're not humans. They're willing to kill everybody, using Democrats and Republicans, and get the rest of the nations to come along with killing children and blowing up towns and raping towns and women, and people still 2020s. That doesn't surprise me one bit. They could be descendants. Everything was about bloodlines. Where did that even come from, Blue Lady? Like that whole feudal, and that was another part of the Rothschild, and that could be, yeah, you might be on something. Because when he set up, what's his name? Nathan Meyer Rothschild, when he set up his children in the banks over the other nations, and I'll show you why he did that and the reason, he required they married within the family. Yeah, that's right. He married within the family. Y'all do a little bit, they do a little too much of that. It's not a good thing. But he married within the family to keep those ancient bloodlines. It sounds like conspiracy. I look at conspiracy. You know what I do with conspiracies when I hear them? I take them and I put them back here, and I just wait and see what else I can figure out. I just wait. I don't deny them. I don't anything. I just wait, and I just start doing my research. I read what other people send me. I watch other lectures. I look at the world economy and economics and how everything unfolds. And if it looks like it makes some damn sense, it goes up on my plausibility scale. So I'm kind of with you. I think these people a little something, but Rothschild, what did he say? Rothschild had that famous quote. I've used it many times, but I never looked into the Rothschilds. I'm just doing it now because my friends keep sending me stuff. They won't stop. They won't stop till they drive me crazy. Get straight. This is what he said. All these wars, and while I think oil is a side effect of what they're about, they're certainly about, hang on, there we go. What he said. Who controls the issuance of money controls the government. Please say that out loud for me, everybody. Please say, if you're at work, don't say that out loud, especially if you're working at a bank. Oh no, don't say that. If you work in a political party, don't say it either. Because you use them. They don't really understand that money makes the world go round, not your politics. They don't care about your health care. They just need you to vote with them so they can help the Rothschilds own the world. Good morning. Brother John is in the house. Carrie and Paul. Let me go back in comments. I missed a whole bunch of good stuff. Maybe I said something wrong. Somebody help me. Good morning, Mandy. Jonathan. Brother Jonathan's in the house. They started both world wars. They do anything. Thank you, Brother Jonathan. You know what I heard? I heard not only that, but they funded both sides of the world wars. And, you can't see the comments over here. They funded both sides of the world wars. And even the Napoleonic Wars. So they've been at this a long time, because when this dude, Meyer Rothschild, this was the 1800s. This wasn't a new thing, it was an old thing. So funding both sides of the wars, why would they do that? Well, they're a bank. They make the family makes money on interest. And you know what I see? And I don't see like a big conspiracy. To me, it's not conspiracy, it's just money. It's not conspiracy, it's just money. The more big corporations getting money, taking loans, the more wars are happening, the more people you blow up, the more buildings you knock down, the more bombs you drop, the more airplanes get shot down, the more tanks blow up. The more money you got to loan from the bank. You just keep things rolling, right? It doesn't matter if you're Christian, Muslim, Jew, American, Venezuelan, Honduras, Chinese, Russian, doesn't matter what you are. The political parties act like it matters, but it doesn't matter. As long as you are killing each other, as long as you are doing everything that your God's told you not to do. You're robbing, killing, looting, building things up and blowing them up. As long as you're doing everything your God's, and you got bank accounts. They don't want you to have bank accounts. As long as you're doing everything, somebody said Catholic Church, pedophilia popped in my mind. As long as you're doing everything that you need to do to keep people scared and keep this whole evolution thing in the ancient past, as long as you don't keep people, the dumb 98% monkeys evolving, moving forward, trying to figure out what's true, keeping them in conflict, if you own the bank, you're going to be $1 trillion family. $1 trillion family. Like I said, I don't see conspiracy because the Rothschilds is a big family. Big family. And I don't think they're evil. I just think they're a big family. They're a big family. What happens in a family when you hand down the bank after the bank after the bank? You hand down your mom and pop store. After a while, you got a whole bunch of family. And everybody wants to retire. Everybody wants a yacht. Everybody wants an island. Shoot, probably most of them want a new nation. And how does that happen? Need more war. You got it. If your family's in the cookie business, more people got to eat cookies. More people got to eat cookies. So you lie about sugar. You say it's not a carcinogen. Why? Because it's just not 7 of you anymore. It's 70 of you. And everybody wants to be wealthy. And so you have to. So it's not even a conspiracy. And I don't think it's evil. It's just money. The Rothschilds are caught up in this just like we are. Right? Their kids don't want to work like your kids don't want to work. They know the only difference is you're selling cookies, you're lying about cookies, you're buying government to lie about sugars and a carcinogen to get people to eat more cookies. Or if you're a vaccine company, you're forcing cookies into people's throats and making sure they keep eating cookies. You know, and as a Rothschild, it's just all of it. It's all of it. It's 5G, vaccines, space travel, blowing up rockets, you know, everything. Down to poison in water, chlorine and fluoride. You just make money on all of it. Just economics. That's why I said just focus on the economics. I believe that. Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Ivan. Orban, the leader of Hungary, is being vilified by the EU. He was also vilified by the U.S. media during a recent visit to the U.S. Now we know why. Ooh. Well, is Hungary on the list? Is Hungary on the list? Hang on, let's get rid of this Rothschild. Is Hungary on the list? That's somebody's ancestor. By the way, if any Rothschilds here, I ain't talking about y'all. Like, I'm not negative on you. I'm not an eat the rich type of guy. Is Hungary on the list? No, Hungary ain't on that list. Oh, Hungary is on the list. It's on the bottom. It's right there. I gotta check my daggone eye. Here's what these lights do to me. I'm damaging my eyes. Just see it making these videos trying to get y'all to stop being silly and so I can learn. And I'm like going blind so I can buy some eyeglasses so the Rothschilds can make a little interest on the Roth. I got this high-speed internet broadcasting, so interest in the bank. Rothschilds making money even off of this video. So I'm helping y'all, Rothschilds. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I got your back. Everything I do, I drove here today on gas, so I got your back. All right, let me see. Eileen said you heard something like that too? Okay, well, it makes sense, Ivana. Well, you know, so these countries got to go. These countries got to get an infestation of some terrorism or something. They got to get some domestic, they want to own some land. You know what I was talking about the other day? I was talking about reparations. I like to talk about reparations. Reparations are important, nutritious, and delicious. And we should be focused as a world on reparations. What, did you think I was going to say race? Nah, I don't believe in reparations as a race. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's the same thing we've always been doing. You know, starve them, help them. That's how you keep everybody in conflict. Lie about that scripture, keep everybody in religion. That's how the Rothschilds make money. Why? Because if you do things for one group of people, it's going to piss off the other group of people. And the other group of people, they have oppression too. They might have a different type of oppression. But they got oppressed. Do I believe in reparations? I think everybody should own land. Like when I think about it like this, I think everybody should have 40 acres and a tractor. Everybody, every last body. You're born on this planet. I think you have the rights of the bees and the buffalo, the monkeys and the fungus. I think you have a right to own some land, and that's what they don't want. Governments are put in place to take your land. Is there any government out there, any big government that lets their citizens actually own land? And I'm not talking about homeowners because you don't own the damn thing. I know it makes you feel good. I'm a homeowner. No, you're not. You're a Rothschild slave like the rest of you. You don't own none of that. You stop paying your taxes and you'll find out who owns that land. You stop paying your mortgage and you'll find out who owns that land. But I believe in reparations for the planet. Reparations from Rothschild banking. That's the only reparations you'll get me behind. Why? Because it's the only thing that's different. Everything else is like this people against that people, pitting this people, and nothing gets done. Because to take on the Rothschild banks, everybody got to show up. Everybody got to grow up. Everybody has to get rid of their bigotry, their tribalisms, and their sideisms, their nationisms, their religionisms, and their racism. That's the only way you take on people that actually own the damn planet. Look, I didn't put it up there if you're late. That's why it's not Earth no more. It's not Earth. It's Rothchild. Let's just call it Rothchild. It's the only way you're going to stop them. You know, but if people own land, they're powerful. Why? Because you got food, you got a structure to live in. You know, and so that's why I think a lot of this is just about taking land from people. They would murder people, take the land, like the Native Americans, any indigenous people, take their land. Because people who don't have land are weak. People who don't have land are dependents. People who don't have land, they're dependent on the economic system. And the economic system does what for the Rothschilds? Makes them interest. So they don't have to do a damn thing, but they make all the money. All right, let me see. I had to uninstall a bunch of apps, kept interrupting my phone while watching this. Well, heaven, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. I might have said something true. But that's just how it goes. That's how it goes. And now what we're supposed to be mad at Huawei, I'm still not mad at Huawei. I want a Huawei laptop. I want a Huawei phone. Because Huawei pissing off all the bad guys. Huawei's pissing off the U.S. federal government, which does not govern America. They are just the owners put in place a sub-department of Rothschild banking, a sub-department of whatever all of this is, keeping me captive, and it pisses them off. They don't want me to have Huawei phones. I want Huawei phones everywhere. There's something about Huawei that must be ingenuous. It must be good. Why? Because it's pissing off the NSA, it pisses off the CIA, it pisses off all the people that are keeping me captive on this plantation. I wish I could have a Huawei phone, but I'm not gonna get one. I want to go to prison. They got plenty of reasons to put you in prison. They can put you in prison for any damn thing. If you were live and breathing in America, you're a criminal. And if you're outside of America's borders, you're a criminal. So yeah, I wish I could, but they own all the phones, Heaven. It's the craziest thing. They own all the data. They see everything. They see your sexting, your texting, your naked pictures, this, that, and the other. They see your mom. They see everything. They got everything. Got all your texts, got everything. And we think that people who don't have everything, people who do have everything, are somehow our friends. Here's an example. You get married and your spouse doesn't allow you to have any secrecy at all. Do you think that's gonna go well? Not that you want secrecy, but let's say y'all date, y'all think about getting married or something. They going through your email, going through your phone, texting you. Every time you walk in the room, they like take your phone, they put it down, they're reading everything. You know, going through your drawers, looking under your bed. What's that gonna tell you? Are y'all like, is there any like trust there at all? Are y'all like, is there any love, anything that's happening there? Or you got somebody that's damaged, somebody that's up to something? Somebody don't trust them, you know. And this is the thing: there's no trust relationship between the Rothschilds, the CIA, the FBI, MI5, MI6. How many y'all up to MI7 and 8 yet? UK? I don't know. But there's no trust between the citizens and the people. None. Things that you trust, you give freedom to. You just trust. Things you gotta watch. Like who said it? Chris Hedges said it. He's the one who said. He said they gotta know everything. That's not the relationship between a government and people. That's a relationship between a slave and masters. I don't care nothing about your vote. It actually doesn't matter to me at all. You know, about Trump is gonna win. It actually does not matter on Rothschild Earth. Is Trump is the president. It's time to grow up. But if we don't vote, we gotta get Kamala. And so Kamala can take on the Rothschild banks? Is Kamala gonna do that? Bernie gonna do that? Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna take on the Rothschild banks? You know, everybody who is not on this list right here. This is how I know we're losing. We're not winning. We losing. Everybody on this list right here should have yellow vest movements all over the street. People coming together across all parties, races, all the isms, trying to get rid of the Rothschild bank out of their nation so they actually get to control their country. They actually get to have a say somewhere in their governing, or get rid of this whole governing idea. I'm kind of a mindset that I'm done with governing. I think it was a failed experiment. I think it was just put in place to kind of keep us in control while they rename the earth Rothschild. All right, allegiances, flags, that tribalism again. That Gerard often talks about allegiances and flags. Oh, Patricia, yeah. So no, it was in the news. It was in the news. Some business. I can show it to you. Some business. Because I think these are good examples sometimes. That's why I kind of watch the news. I guess for the most part, what it's becoming is like looking through the lies, trying to find out what's true, but also listening to like the wisdom our ancestors always tried to give us, like don't trust the chiefs, don't trust the tribal councils, don't trust the kings, don't trust the lords until this generation, where everybody trusts them. Everybody loves them. Got bumper stickers. Got magnets on the refrigerator. I go to my mama. I was like, Mama, that magnet's still in that refrigerator. All right. You just go forget everything Pop done taught us. We're not supposed to trust the government. We don't want to trust the government, you know. But so I try to look for things that kind of make sense, that actually agree with thousands of years of wisdom handed down to us. Starting with probably from Solon to Plato. Never trust your government. Always stand up for sovereignty in each other. Never violate each other. Where's this flag thing? There was this flag thing. There was some interesting stuff in the news. There was some 5G and drones. Boy, I tell you what, all you got to do is give it to one of their gods and they'll cheer. Now they're cheering 6G. Why? Because Trump said it. They were cheering 5G, Obama said it. So this is how we die. But let me see, they were talking, Ben Swan was talking about 5G and drone technology, that you don't have to just worry about Huawei technology from China, but you also need to worry about the drones, that they're taking the data. I don't care if drones are taking data. I don't care if drones are taking my picture. As long as that data go to China, I'm good. If that data stays inside the United States and goes to my wardens, that's when I got a problem. Where is this? Where's this flag? Here it goes. Here it goes. Patriotism in the news. Patriotism.
We did it, you guys. We made it to
y'all loving the flag.
3 million. Boy.
They just put these commercials on here, and I don't even know what that is. They always do this stuff to try to get people to think about other things.
Should laws be black and white even when it comes to the red, white, and blue? Well, not according to city administrators in North Carolina, who currently have a lawsuit against the Gander RV location because of the 40 by 80 foot American flag, which flies over its Statesville, North Carolina location. Now, the Statesville city attorney filed an injunction this week against the parent company Camping World for violating the city's regulations on displaying flags, saying it was more than the allowed size of 8 by 12 feet. Now, this following a 3 by 5 vote by city officials to change the ordinance, which would allow the flag to continue flying. The company now faces a $50 per day fine, which is retroactive to the first day the city asked to take down the flag, which was on October 15th, 2018. But this is more than about a few dollars, as the CEO of Camping World, Marcus Lemonis, responded by saying, "I don't care if it goes to $500 a day, it's not coming down." Well, bravo, Marcus. I believe in respecting the law, but in this case, Camping World has two things in its favor. One, private property, and two, America. City ordinances are put in place in order to preserve safety and the standards of a community. It is very sad if city politicians feel the same flag, which they swear allegiance to and took the oath of office in front of endangers one of its 25,000 citizens or lowers the curb appeal. We as Americans should not need reminding that the flag is more than just a piece of material that can be regulated by government at any level. In fact, I'm actually worried about a governing body who shows so little respect for our American flag. Maybe they should spend some time with a military family who struggles while a parent is deployed, talk with a veteran's widow, or a new citizen who has... All
right, I'm done with that. Silly lady. That's why you can't even trust RT. You can't trust anybody. You can't stations, because at any moment in time, because everybody's indoctrinated, everybody's got to make money, everybody's going to hand you a little bit of their ignorance and bigotry when they got it in indoctrination. Yeah, I don't want politicians' allegiance to flags. That's stupid. I don't want politicians. I'm actually an adult. I don't need representatives. I don't need anyone to represent me. And even if you want to be allegiant to something, like what is the purpose? Are you supposed to be allegiant to the flag? You're supposed to be allegiant to what the flag stood for. And what I see is I don't see people allegiant to the flag per se, and the flag is a piece of cloth, but it's carried by somebody. And if the Pentagon's carrying the flag, I come from a military family. I know I shouldn't be allegiant to no damn Pentagon because I know what they do. They're just rolling out Rothschild banks. They're getting people killed, children, youth in our country, sending them to other countries that kill other people for Rothschild banking, for interest. Why in the world would I care about, why in the world would I care about a flag if I know the people who carry the flag now have no interest in what the flag was about? All day long, all they do is spend all of their time destroying the Constitution, burning it up, because the Constitution was suspended. What was it, 1933? 18 something, Brother John was showing me about that America stopped existing. We're a corporation now. We're all commodities. So we're commodities for a big corporation, and that corporation is owned by who? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, somebody, getting money and loans out of the bank. So why do I care what any of your politicians have to say? All right, there we go. It's just, you know what, to me, it's just a golden calf. That's all it is. It's a golden calf. It's a golden calf to get people to worship it, to turn them against their God, to get them to cheer nuclear weapons and tanks and guns and bullets and all the things that their God told them they can't have anything to do with. I'd love to see, can't wait to see the responses to that question. Is Christianity supposed to be in support of war? Because apparently the Muslims have already stood up. They said Islam does not allow for nuclear weapons. So I'm waiting for the Christians to stand up. Come on, I hate that word. Come on, modern Christians, y'all can stand up. Y'all can do it. Y'all can say you're not for war. But they won't. Why? Because they love Trump. And they hate Trump. Or they just don't read their Bibles. And they don't believe the ancient texts that go behind before that. Let me see. In a powwow, the natives step on the American flag at the end. You know what? You know what? Why do people get upset about that, Christine? Somebody tell me. Why do people get upset about that? Why does that bother you so much? Schooling, I guess. I guess it's that indoctrination that you got to worship this piece of fabric or whoever carries it over human life. I guess. I don't know. Let me see. What else is in the news? Iran quadruples their uranium outputs. It's got all the Americans scared, but the Americans are the ones that are furthest from their religion and their modern Christianity. And meanwhile, in Iran, they're standing up for the peace that their religion is supposed to be. Let me see. Oh, New York. New York is in New York City. New York, if y'all are walking and texting, you're going to have to put that down because apparently it's about to be illegal to walk and text in New York. So that's interesting. Why in the world would a nation that you're supposed to support the flag and you can't text while you walk? You can't play video games either. You can't use your smartphone, if I remember it right. You can't even use your smartphone. This is more indication you have no Bill of Rights, you have no Constitution, and they're going to continue taking rights because you're fighting the other people on the other side. Like that, to me, that's crazy. But if people are texting and walking, they might get hurt. Really? People chasing bears for food might get hurt too. People fishing, they could get hurt. Leave other people alone. It's not your place. But I guess to me, what gets me is the audacity that you actually have politicians that would put that forward and people would still vote for it. Does it seem like a good idea? Yes, it does. Seems like a good idea. And every bad law all seem like a good idea. The war on drugs seemed like a good idea. We're going to help people and keep them away from the cannabis for moral reasons, even though Jesus smoked it. Jesus heated the herbs, but that's bad because my government now says that's bad. Everything starts with these good intentions, but they're all violations. It's all violence. When you violate somebody else's free will, it's a violation. In other words, that might be sin. Let me see. Ownership is a euphemism for possession, regardless of need. Each of us should have all the resources we can use and nothing more. Accumulation is evil. It is, Brother Kevin. It is. And that's why they made bank accounts so they could accumulate more and let other people starve. But it's an interesting thing when you talk about ownership of land. Because when I say ownership of land, I'm meaning you are the steward of that land. Owner is the wrong word. I agree with you. Ownership is the wrong word. Stewardship. I like that word better. Every human being should be stewards, like how the Christian Bible told them. Before it was in the Sumerian text, and the Sanskrit text. But that you should be stewards. This is the land I'm stewarding. I'm born here, I'm growing food, the deer come in and eat, and the fox come in and grab this every now and then. I'm okay with that, not worried about that, as long as I got enough for my family, taking care of them and the kids, and the neighbors need something, take care of them. Stewards. We should be stewards. We should steward land the same way the Rothchilds steward their banks. Damn it, ain't they stewarded? Them some stewards. Them some stewards. Boy, they got political parties all over this planet willing to kill their own their people for the stewardship of the Rothschild banks. Pure food and water, that's it. That's all people need, Miss T. As long as people got pure food, pure water, they're very healthy, and they don't need Rothschild banking and the big corporations that they're dependent on. They're independent, they're strong, but people don't like to be strong. They like to be comfy. They like convenience. And so they exploit that. You know, that's the only way that we actually get back to being able to make decisions like adults is people got to be strong and they got to stop needing all this infrastructure. Seth Rich wore flag clothes. Sometimes it's about patriotism. The problem is idolatry. The symbol becomes more important than what it's supposed to represent. Amen, Sister Patricia. Amen. And I'm not against flags. I'm not against flags at all. I'm not against anything that y'all don't kill people for. If you kill people for it, I am, gosh, I hate that word, but I am a believer in Christ. And so it means that I can't have anything to do with people killing people. Your politicians or political parties, your cults or anybody else. So if you want to kill people for golden calves, if you want to kill people for flags, if you want to kill people for oil, if you want to kill people for Rothschild banks, if you want to kill people just because you're upset, you want to kill people because you think they're cheating on you and the name is Al Green, you want to throw hot grits on them. Any reason you want to kill people, I'm against. You want to kill people because you like to sell vaccines. You want to kill people because you like to put chlorine in the water. You want to kill people because you like to give them synthetic drugs. You want to kill people. Anything reason you want to kill people, I'm supposed to be against you. I can't be with you. At that point, like, you're evil. And so, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the flag. Nothing wrong with guns. Might not even be anything wrong with nukes, Patricia. Might not be. But when you use them when their intent is to kill people, it means that I can't have nothing to do with it. So it's just a thing. But it's about the intent. And so if they're constantly using the flag to murder people, they're constantly using the flag to destroy nations and pedophilia, sex trafficking, and destabilizing countries, I can't have anything to do with it. So yeah, it's not even about the flag. Let me see what else was in the news. Rethinking migrant. Oh, y'all hear about that? That was in the news. What's that called? Rethinking migrant. Ooh! Old Benny Carson, he's in the news.
We're relentless in our focus to improve the customer experience. We'll get great results for our company.
A 16-year-old migrant from Guatemala died this week in U.S. custody after being diagnosed with the flu by a nurse practitioner. Now, days after he was first in U.S. custody, the teen was transferred to the Border Patrol station in West Laco, Texas, to prevent his illness from spreading. Now, critics say the boy should have been hospitalized and was held by authorities for twice as long as the law permits. Now, while Republicans, along with President Trump, say Democrats are refusing to approve the changes that could improve this system. So I got to bring in our 360 View panel. We bring in former Georgia state lawmaker D. Dawkins-Hagler and conservative commentator Steve Malzberg.
Okay, so you can watch the rest of it. I really don't care. I'm not interested. Why? Because you got a Democrat comes in, Republican comes in. They say their little silly sides, and what they agree on is there still should be Border Patrol, there still should be ICE, there still should be borders, they still should blow up other people's countries, and I'm just against all of it. Like, I'm gonna see if I can fast forward to the end of the debate. I found it to be interesting. Closing statements, but I really don't care about what killers them.
Other countries' problems, when we definitely have a problem here within our own country that we need to get straight.
You are 100% correct, and the answer is no, we cannot afford it. And what I'd like to see happen, and I've said this before, and if it sounds cruel, it's cruel. We need a moratorium, and I haven't heard that talked about in years. I don't know how it gets done legally, executive order, I doubt it. Congress passed an act, that'll never happen. But we need a moratorium on immigration. Let's take a deep breath, as Hillary would say, not about this, though.
Or just people from
And everybody, let's take a couple of years off and organize ourselves and rewrite the rules and make sure that we don't take on more than we can handle. And by the way, people don't have a right to live the American dream. Americans do, but people in other countries don't.
Well, and that's the thing is, now, before
All right, there's just so much there. So first of all, there's no American dream. If you believe that, you are a fantasy unicorn, dragon, flying with flying pigs and got a tail for mermaids. There is no American dream. It's a Rothschild dream. What did George Carlin say? You gotta be asleep if you believe it. That's number one. Number two, I do actually agree the moratorium could work. I could be wrong. I'm just not for borders because the borders don't actually exist. I'm not for borders because my religion doesn't allow for borders. All right? My belief in scripture, my belief in Christ, he ain't do no borders and he was an immigrant. You know, and I'm glad that people took him in. But outside of that, I can go with a moratorium. I could be wrong on that. Moratorium on all immigration. Let's do that. But we need an addendum to this moratorium where nobody can come in the United States. We need a moratorium on the reason why they try to come in the United States. How about a moratorium on the CIA blowing up countries, a moratorium on the CIA lying to you, a moratorium on classification, a moratorium on the DHS, ICE, and FBI, which are all unconstitutional and illegal organizations that can't even exist, a moratorium on the FDA. Can we have a moratorium on the MIC? I agree with the moratorium. We can lock borders in. I'll go with y'all on that. But you gotta have a moratorium on the reason why people are fleeing their countries, because we're blowing their nations up. We're starving them and we're sanctioning them. We're making them debt colonies. That's why people are trying to get out of the country, because they don't like being raped. They got 10-year-old little girls who want to go to school and don't want to be raped. So they're getting the hell out of the country. All right, so if we have a moratorium on that, I'll go with it. I still think it's stupid. Because again, you don't own the land. The land ain't in America. The Rothschilds gave you that name. That's why the only two presidents in the United States who fought central Rothschild banking by the name of Abraham Lincoln and JFK, and all the rest of them completely sold out. There are people who get into office, and once they figure this silly stuff out, they stand up against it and they get murdered. If your president gets in office and gets out of office, if your congressperson gets in office and out of office, hang on, let me do this. If your prime minister gets in office and out of office, because it ain't about America. If they get in and out of office safe and okay and everybody's good to go, they sold you out. They sold you out. Because at some point in time, you get in office and they tell them exactly what they're supposed to do, and they either do it or they stand up for you. And if they stand up for you against Rothschild banking, they get killed. That is how this works. These people are not here to play. They need their interest. The Rothschild family, they're having babies like everybody else. They need to make sure the money keep coming in. All right, I want to move on to Benny. This is the other reason I watch politics, because I think it's hilarious. Benny, y'all know Benny Carson. All right, watch this.
I'll let you two go. I've got to bring this up because on a lighter note, I would like each of your reaction to this interaction, which occurred earlier today on Capitol Hill between HUD Secretary Ben Carson and Democrat Representative Katie Porter.
I'd also like you to get back to me, if you don't mind, to explain the disparity in REO rates. Do you know what an REO is?
An Oreo?
No, not an Oreo. An REO. REO.
Real estate?
What's the O stand for?
Organization?
Owned. Real estate owned. That's what happens when a property goes to foreclosure. We call it an REO.
Oh, that was painful to watch, and I had that good reaction. Dee, I'm going to go to you first. What is your thoughts when you saw it?
First of all, he should have never even been over HUD. Why would you put someone who is a brain surgeon over HUD in the first place? That means that the person who put him in that position need their mind checked out too, which would have been Ben Carson could have checked out the president's mind and said, this is not a good position for me because I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like anyone in this administration is a warden that was friends of his, putting in positions they cannot handle, and we do not need any more of that. People need to go and stay in their own lane so that the government can function properly.
Well, that's the thing, Steve. I mean, I know you've been a huge defender of the president, but you look at this, this is a case in point.
Stay in their own lane. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe that. Listen, Republicans, if y'all still around, any Republicans left in this world, if y'all still Republicans and y'all still believe in the Rothschild banking system, you still believe in this, please work together. Send Benny Carson to hearings with a pocket of Oreos. You know how your mama used to get the Oreos and put them in like a little plastic bag? Man, sitting there like in there talking about housing, and apparently REO is an acronym that he's supposed to know because he's over housing. You're like, Oreos. Somebody say Oreo? All right, I'm done. I'm sorry. Listen, if you are right now, the Oreo family doing real good. They're doing real good. But you know, like I said, this is the same basic silly dumbness. It doesn't really matter who's in office. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. And why is Benny Carson there? Yeah, you know why he's there. Let's not pretend that Benny Carson is there for one reason, and one reason alone. I know y'all say, well, he grew up poor, and he grew up in public housing, so that means he should run public housing. Well, listen, I believe in giving everybody a chance. Don't get me wrong. Give everybody a chance. I don't think that there's any office in government that should be held or that is even important. I don't think there's any pre-qualification, other than you do what the Rothschilds tell you what to do. I give everybody a chance. But if you've been in office for 3 years and REO is standard acronym in the industry, and you don't know that by now, you do need to have your head examined. You're either not paying attention or you just don't care. And I think they just don't care. I think the decisions are made for these people. Oreos are on the shelf at every single grocery store, and they shouldn't be because they're a carcinogen, got sugar in it. But hey, we have an oligarchy, and the government is bought. They are owned, bought, sealed, sold, delivered, and people still voting Republican and Democrat. But I laugh at this stuff. It doesn't matter who's in these offices. But he doesn't care. But there's one thing she said that's spot on. They all need brain scans. All of them. Every single one of them. And I think this is why my belief. I think if you actually brain scanned and did that whole Dr. James Fallon brain scan psychopathy thing on all of these people, I think you'd have a couple who show up as normal human beings. I think you'd have a couple who have capacity in their brains for empathy and love and compassion and concern and kindness, not always aggression and force and apathetic abilities. And I think the only people in the U.S. government that you're going to find out will probably be JFK, Abraham Lincoln, maybe Ron Paul, Cynthia McKinney. I don't think you're gonna find any others. I don't think any others you might find. It'd be like that guy in the office with the stapler. Remember him? They're the only ones you're gonna find. The rest of them are just killers. The rest of them, they are killers. The rest of them work for the Rothschild banking. You might put a congressman or senator somewhere in the basement they forgot about who's just still getting paid. Yeah, my stapler. Yeah, my stapler. Y'all remember the office? All right, anyway. All right, I'll get out of here. What else we got? A couple more comments. I'm gonna go. Appears to still have access to the rare and higher dose of Quaaludes. He's Sleepy Benny. Something is going on there, Miss T. Something just isn't clicking, and But he's like one of the obvious ones. Right? Most of them aren't obvious. Most of them are charismatic. I think when you apply for an acting job in the United States Congress or the United States President or United States Senator, you just got to be charismatic. You got to be good at drawing the crowd. You got to be good at getting 98% of monkeys excited about Rothschild banking. And you can come up with whatever excuse that you have. You can be this, that, or the other. You just got to be good at the show. And then you got some that obviously have that area not doing what it needs to in their brain. And Benny happens to be one of them. Good morning, Yuli. Good morning, Joshua. Good morning, Sean. That lady protested on Bush's ranch. Mother of a slain soldier, what's her name? She's still doing it. Oh, that's the sister I interviewed her, Lori. That's somebody. Oh, that. She's on my friends list. Yeah, Cindy Sheehan. Right, her son. And this is what mothers are supposed to be doing. Your sons go to war, you find out the war is a lie, and your son dies, you're supposed to stand up. And meanwhile, Americans are turned against her. Why? Because they got charismatic presidents and charismatic politicians that they worship. So turn against a mother whose child died in a Rothschild's war over a lie. And the Rothschild banks fund both sides of every war because they own all the banks except for in those 7 countries. Of course, Cindy Sheehan is supposed to be pissed off, and she's supposed to be fighting for her son's memory, like anybody from a military family. Like anybody gives a damn about anybody in the military family, like anybody related to anybody in the military family. And we're 7 billion different cousins all over this planet. Flags of peace should be the world flag. It should be, Lori. We're born human, spiritual creature going into a human body, and they spend the rest of their life trying to convince you that you're something else. That you're Irish, or you're black, or you're white, or you're Jew, or you're Christian, or you're American, or you're this, that, or the other. To get you to conflict with other people because the Rothschilds love money. They need money. They may not even love it. In fact, we might love money more than they do because they got so much of it. But they need more because they're breeding exponentially. And that's why this world comes to an end, because we still rely on banking systems. But it would be good to have a worldwide flag of peace called human. Just keep in mind that you die human. You can be whatever you want while you live here. You can put on whatever silly avatar you want, but you're going to die human. And if you don't get to take none of it with you, I just kind of think your main purpose in life leave this place better than what you found it. And it ain't going to be that way if you continue with this Rothschild banking system and the family is growing exponentially. Not that they're wrong, because we let them do it. We consent to them doing it, and we cheer them to it. We vote for it every single election instead of standing down. That's why I say it's time to stand down. It's time to grow up, and it's time to let it go. Stand down. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yes, it is, John. That's why people need GPS. But I think that's what the 10 Commandments were. They were GPS. That's why the basis of all the religions are the same. Don't kill people, don't rob people, don't steal from people. If people got that GPS, then it doesn't really matter what road's being paved with what good intentions. You say no. People have free will. That's why, John, we always come back to that gun control thing. I always say no. Why? It's my neighbor. He bought the gun. It ain't none of my business. It's his car. Bought the car. Ain't none of my business. Walking on the street in New York, that's his cell phone. That's his gaming thing. They bought that. They're using that. That's their life. They have free will. As long as you got a good sovereign GPS to leave other people alone, you're good to go. The world works the way it's supposed to. As long as you're willing to tell other people what to do, now we got a problem. They always get these good intentions, John, because I think at the base of it, most people are like loving people. They got kindness in their heart. They got kids. Kids soften everybody up. They bring down that psychopathy nonsense and the bigotry and the tribalism that people have. But it's those good intentions, it's those gestures, They always give you some good intentions to get you to do an evil thing. And we just gotta be smarter than that. We gotta have a good GPS on leave each other alone, love each other. Stewards or are we merely a part of the environment and lost that connection? Well, you know what, Christine? I think we're stewards. I think we're stewards because we have a slightly better we have slightly better ability for higher thought. Not much, but slightly better than polar bears and slightly better than bees. Maybe not bees, but slightly better, not ants, nope, not ants. Slightly better than mice, slightly better than deer, slightly better than those things. And so because we have slightly better ability in how to heal wild, not only in us, but heal wild in wolves, make them dogs, heal the wild, see how the wild got healed in the bonobos versus the chimps. If we know how to get rid of the wild and the psychopathy and these warrior genes that are probably in every species on this planet, those genes that make us want to okay with murdering other people for bank accounts and retirement and to pay our mortgage, where we can look the other way, slavery and mass incarceration, as long as we have a higher capability for thought, I think we're supposed to help the planet heal, not speed its destruction. That's what I think. So when I say stewards, that's kind of what I'm thinking, along the lines of what those scriptures mean, that we're supposed to take care of the planet like it's a garden of Eden, not our backyard that we can just piss everywhere and just drop poo and not give a damn about, throw trash all around. Taking care of it for everybody, I think. But we have to be professional stewards, right? People who have that good GPS, so they can go off and do what they need to do, right? They can handle it. You don't have to help other people handle it and heal the land and take care of each other and take care of their neighbors. Everybody has that capacity. Everybody's got that love in them. You just got to help bring it out. Everybody should get 40 acres in a tractor, but the Rothchilds don't like that, and they'll get, if the two political parties won't do it, they'll get a third one to do it. Well, the two political parties are still doing it. They don't stop. They'll bring a third one. They'll do anything they can to fool you. I'm just too old to be fooled. I'm just too old to be fooled. Oh, we've got a problem in this country, all right. Yes, Stacy, we got a lot of problems in this country. We have about 270 million. We have about 270 million problems in this country. And once we get them to fix their own problems, we'll be okay. When we stop trying to fix other people's problems in their mirror and we just take care of our own problems, we'll be good to go. I recently posted about this, where the outrage of the left about the kids in the U.S. dying due to the lack of access to proper health care. Yeah, Ivana, I always laugh at that. I laugh at that because I know who the Democrats are. Unfortunately, I read the laws of their leaders. The people who vote for them don't read the laws. I actually read the laws, and those people are behind human trafficking. It was called the even before that, because they put the Native Americans in those prisons, the kids in the schools. Before that, you had that Bill Clinton's Welfare Reform Act of 1994, when he made it, put billions of dollars for human trafficking, and the states proceeded to go out and grab children from the poor people who couldn't afford water. I think there's probably more offense in running over a border than putting kids in foster homes because their parents can't afford water or electric bills. I think that's slightly more evil to me. But it doesn't mean the Democrats are worse than Republicans. Nah, the left ain't worse than the right. They work for Rothschild banking. It's all about conflict. It's all about fear and conflict. They all put kids in cages. They all shoot people at borders. They all bomb children and bury them under rubble. But it's about fear. They try to convince the left that the right's slightly worse, and it's not. And try to convince the right that the left is slightly, and it's not. They're the same sellouts working for Rothschild banks. Oreo, oh, that's y'all remember the Oreo song? Oh man, I remember that Oreo commercial. Y'all still talking about Oreos. So true. Carson is there because he hasn't a clue in money. No, he hasn't a clue in money, Angela, but he has one thing. He has black skin. Right? That's why he's there. He's there because they convinced people that Trump was racist. And so what did Trump do? He went and found the first black people. He could probably looked out his window, dang, I need a black person. I need somebody. Who is that? The guy looks like he's slipping and falling down, can't find the sidewalk. The guy, I think Trump, I think he's sleeping. I think he's sleepwalking. Yeah, him. Get him. I don't care. Put him in. They say I'm racist. Put him in. And they just put him in. But this is what happens when you begin to play this game. You begin to play their game. Democrat, the GOP, and DNC, they all work together. And you play their game, they'll play you for a fool, but we end up with a lot of people in government that should not be there. We end up with a government that we should not even have. Anyway, Rothschild banks. This is where we're at. We're going to rename it. It's not Earth anymore, it's Planet Rothschild. Why? Because people continue to vote for charismatic people. People continue to agree with violating their neighbors. People continue to agree with violence that should have been extinct a long time ago. Because people in conflict and violence creates a lot of interest for the next. Anyways, I gotta get going. This is Gerard. Y'all have a good day. Love y'all. Do your best to stop supporting the banking system. Because they're the ones who end the world and they own pretty much every nation on this planet. This is Gerard. I'm out of here. Have a great day.